For 15 years, the French archaeologist and explorer Thierry Jamin investigates the South Peruvian jungle in all directions, searching for evidence of the permanent existence of the Incas in the Amazonian rainforest and the legendary lost city of Paititi. So far, he has discovered 30 important archaeological sites in the northern department of Cusco, including fortresses, several burial grounds, ceremonial centers, and some small inhabited Inca cities composed by hundreds of buildings, dozens of streets, passages, and squares. In August 2011, Thierry Jamin embarks on an incredible journey in Machu Picchu. A few months ago, Thierry Jamin and his team believe they have made an extraordinary archaeological discovery in the Inca city originally discovered by Imran Bingham in 1911. This discovery was made possible thanks to the testimony of a French engineer from Barcelona, David Crespi. In 2010, he visits the Machu Picchu. For 3 days, he explores every corner of the mysterious Inca city. Suddenly, he noticed that one of the walls located at the bottom of one of the main buildings really looks like a sealed door. Intrigued, he shared his discovery with archaeologists of the Machu Picchu and the local authorities. Unfortunately, that was not followed by any action. In 2011, in an article of the French newspaper The Figaro magazine, he learns about Thierry Jamin's research, work, and his campaign in Inca 2011 and decides to contact him immediately. The photographs and explanations given by David Crespi convince the archaeologist. Thierry Jamin went several times to the Machu Picchu, either alone or accompanied by other local archaeologists, and knows the site pretty well. The general context of this door, located at the center of one of the main buildings of the city, overlooking the entire urban area, lead Thierry Jamin to believe that it is undoubtedly a burial site of a primary importance. The building and the door are located in a very unique area of Machu Picchu. They are both orientated to the east, like all the funeral sites, and located a few meters away from the main entrance, and they dominate the urban area of the Inca citadel. In the Peruvian folklore and in some old Spanish chronicles such as the one written by Juan de Betanzos, it is stated that the Machu Picchu belonged to the Panaca, the lineage of the Emperor Pachacutec, the Inca who turned the small Andean state into the most powerful empire of the American continent. The tradition also reports that he was buried in the Machu Picchu. It is very possible that this burial chamber is related to the sovereign of the 15th century. This would be a great event for the history of Peru and the pre-Columbian America. No mummy of an Emperor Inca has been found yet. It would be the first time in history. Thierry and his team from the Inquiry Institute submit an application to the Peruvian authorities in order to perform the geophysical survey that can confirm the existence of a burial chamber in the basement of this building. The Peruvian Ministry of Culture grants Thierry Jamin and his team with an authorization to proceed with the geophysical survey.
Aujourd'hui c'est un jour important, on est mercredi 11 avril.
The DPR, ground penetrating radar, technicians arrived yesterday evening. Thierry Jamin and his team will then be able to read the results of the electromagnetic reflection that are picked up by a receiver, and they should then be able to determine or not the existence of the burial chamber in the basement of the building where, 2 years ago, David Crespi found the famous door.
Podemos hacer más a nivel essayer d'en savoir un peu plus sur la structure générale de la porte, de l'entrée, en introduisant une caméra endoscopique. Il y a beaucoup d'espace, un petit peu de végétation, mais on voit que c'est pas des pierres qui permettent à l'édifice de se reposer. Donc elles n'ont d'utilité que pour cacher quelque chose.
Now let's move on to the upper level of the building.
Donc voilà, nous sommes en train d'installer le matériel pour pouvoir faire les détections sur cette zone-là, qui est la zone principale d'étude.
The scan starts and quickly gives the first result.
Il a détecté le signal d'un objet en eau.
The measures continue and the discoveries unfold.
Ricardo a bien confirmé la présence d'une cavité très profonde. Donc on va utiliser d'autres méthodes pour essayer de recouper les informations.
The technician comments the results.
La figura que se observa en la pantalla del Golden Key está indicando que existe una cavidad que a todas luces da a entender que es un pasaje. Esas líneas escalonadas dan a entender que puede ser más que probable escaleras.
The device seems to have discovered a second corridor. The teams will now use a more specific device designed for the detection and identification of metals.
Ce que nous a montré Ricardo, c'est différents points en ligne droite où il a trouvé la présence d'or. Dans d'autres endroits, il a repéré la présence d'argent.
The mapping of the discoveries has now been completed. To complete the first measurements, the team now use 3 new types of detectors that can survey the ground up to 20 meters deep. The results will be again over our expectations.
La Freddy est en train d'utiliser la fonction de magnétomètre du rover. Alors on a déjà balayé plusieurs fois le sol de l'édifice et on le fait dans un autre sens pour être sûr de ne rien laisser passer.
The new images show clearly the presence of a vast network of cavities that we can see here in blue. They are located underneath the building at different depths, and here in yellow you can see the metals we have detected.
On a terminé avec le supersenseur et avec le magnétomètre. On va attaquer maintenant avec un troisième système à base d'électrodes.
The metal probes can send signals in the ground to obtain a reading of the local electrical resistance. The team then obtains a great image of a rectangular chamber that was clearly digged by men.
Et d'ores et déjà, on peut être sûr à 100% qu'il y a bien une chambre funéraire, au moins une chambre funéraire au-dessous de cet édifice. Dans les jours, les semaines qui viennent, nous allons présenter au ministère de la Culture un projet d'excavation pour pouvoir ouvrir cette entrée et donner au patrimoine péruvien et au patrimoine mondial de l'humanité le grand trésor historique et archéologique qui se cache sans aucun doute dans cette chambre funéraire.
Following the geophysical survey, Thierry Jamin and his team delivered the final report of their investigations to the Ministry of Culture in May 2012. This report was validated by the Peruvian authorities on September 7th of 2012.